Dear audience, welcome to AdviseMyStyle's video tutorial about plucking eyebrows, part 3. My name is Jurek and today I'll explain you how you shouldn't pluck your eyebrows with the help of a Photoshop. In the end, I'll show you pictures of me when I pluck my eyebrows wrong, so I'll be able to show you what are the main mistakes and why they happen. So let's get started. In the last video tutorial we were talking about mistakes and we used Megan Fox as our case study. This is the theory that I showed you, which in this case doesn't function well. I showed you this with a picture. The theory says you just put a pencil that goes from the side of your nostril directly up, and this is where your eyebrow should start. But in this picture you see how the eyebrow starts a bit more from the center of the face, and this is because she has a very wide forehead comparing to her chin. Basically she has a downturned triangle face, and because she wanted to make her face more narrow here, she put eyebrow a bit more in the center of her face. To make a better representation about how to pluck your eyebrows, I used Masha, my friend, as a case study. This is her picture that I took at home, and now I show you her in a Photoshop. So this is a drawing of her I made in Photoshop, and this is how she would look without eyebrows. You see how eyebrows define your face, and she has very strong eyebrows. Though the problem that we were discussing before is when girls do this. I'm showing you this again because there were lots of girls that wrote me and said, look Jure, we know about this basic theory about plucking eyebrows, so can you do something more advanced? And no, you need to know the basics. Also, if I practice my guitar, I go back to basics. And these were all girls that have wrong plucked eyebrows. So I'm telling you this again a bit differently. You see how if you pluck your eyebrows in the start, it makes your face sad. Once again, if you have a strong jawline, a strong face, you should have very strong eyebrows. Means that they are pretty thick. I'll show you again. Masha, her natural eyebrow, here's a pretty strong curve because she has a strong jawline. And this is how she would look with wrong plucked eyebrows if she would start plucking eyebrows here. And I show you why this lots of times happens. This is how she would look with eyebrows that most of the girls do. They start plucking them here. Now let's go back and I show you how I plucked my eyebrows. Plucking my eyebrows was horrible because I have very thick eyebrows, which you see on this picture, and also I've plucked them only once in my life, so this was a lot of pain, just that you know that I understand what you mean by pain when plucking eyebrows. And I was plucking them about 10 at a time because I had so many. My picture again, and now I'll tell you why girls usually pluck their eyebrows wrong. Most of the time when you pluck your eyebrows you don't do it on a natural light, so the light comes from the upside, from above your head, which makes a shade here. And when you start plucking, you think that you didn't pluck enough, so you pluck more and more, and in the end you realize that that was just a shade. What I did is I drew a line how I wanted my eyebrows to be, and this is how I plucked my eyebrows wrong, just to show you why you do most mistakes. I wanted to lift my eyebrow but because it's so flat, I drew the same line here as I had at the bottom. So this is the bottom line, and I drew a line here, which means that when I started plucking, I just lifted the eyebrow, and the eyebrow is the same shape as it was before, just thinner. And here is when I plucked the end of the eyebrow also. So you see, it lifted up my eye, it opened my eye, but it's how the eyebrow is wrong plucked, because if you want to leave this part of the eye, this part here should be thicker. And I'll show you on another side of a face how this functions. Understand that this is a wrong plucked eyebrow also, but it's a bit better plucked than another one, just to show you the difference. You see, I plucked it again, but here I left a bit more hair than here. Here I plucked more, and here I left the hair. You see how this eyebrow already looks like it's more down than this one. We move further, and you see I plucked the whole eyebrow. So I left few eyebrows here, which means that this angle is higher, and it lifts up my eye, not like this, but more sophisticated. So this is the main point. You should leave your hair here, that the more you pluck this arch, the more sophisticated and lifted your eye looks. So when I was telling you about angled eyebrows, I meant you need to do this arch very high and very pointed. This is it for today, and see you in the next video where I show you a bit more photoshopping again, where I'll explain what to do if you have a wide head or a more narrow one. So join me next time and have fun.